and welcome to episode 31. We've made it to 2022, Simon. How about that?
We have indeed.
And have we got a special guest for you today? But before we introduce our guest, I would like to introduce us. So, Simon, tell us what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Look, it's great to be here, and it's looks like you've got snow behind you down in Tassie, by the way, too. It's still summer, apparently.
It feels like that today.
But anyway, yeah, look, Tony, for those that don't know me, my name is Simon Bowden, and I'm an international marketing business coach with 25 years experience, which makes me a master coach. My mission is always to help my clients identify their aspirations and vision, strengths and blind spots, help them make informed decisions and take actions when needed to ultimately fast track them towards their personal goals. My coaching caters for executives and directors to entrepreneurs, small business owners and beyond. Whatever your situation, I'll help you build on your strengths and get clear on how to create a profitable future. I love what I do and I'm passionate about helping people succeed, Tony, and as you know.
Thank you, Simon. And what do? I help individuals, business owners with customized retreats, workshops and consultations to maximize their feelings of vibrance, purpose, happiness, health, and success. That's what I do. And for our podcast for today, what's our mission? Our mission, should we dare accept it, is to educate and engage with our audience with lively discussions, experts to gain their experience, tips, benefits of the business and well-being practices they can offer. Now, what's been happening in your world, Simon?
Look, firstly, I wanted to congratulate I suppose both of us, because we're entering into 2022, and as you said at the start of the podcast, Tony, it's 2022, but it's our 30th or 31st.
That's right,
episode. Which congratulations, my friend.
Yep, and I'm beaming all the way from Tasmania. The move has actually happened, Simon. Yeah. I've actually moved from Victoria to Tasmania, and that was done in January. So at the moment, I've got this big container outside, and I'm emptying the container and trying to find a home from within our home. So I'm having fun with that. And the streets.
Yeah, and I know that was a huge, big thing for you, and I'm glad that that's been successful for you. And I know that Tasmania is where you wanted to be, and I wish you every success, my friend.
That's right. And at the moment, we're building our wellbeing centre there, which we're hoping to open up within the next couple of months. So that's great. So we won't talk much more about us. Simon, tell us about our special guest that we got on today.
Well, I must say, Tony, that we've been able to lure one fantastic guest today. He's a very good, close personal friend of mine. I love him to death. I call him my brother, from another mother, of course. But we have Marlon De Cruz with us today, Tony, and I'm sure that we're going to be in for a fantastic session with Marlon today. So just bear with me. I'd love to be able to read Marlon's bio. So Marlon emigrated from Sri Lanka to Australia over 20 years ago with only $500 to his name.
Wow.
Which is amazing. But in 2006, he co-founded Tetran, a global technology services company, and 10 years later, he successfully sold it to a publicly listed company for an 8-figure number.
Wow.
It's incredible. Marlon is director and co-founder of BizTech Global, BizEnable, and founder of Make a Day Brighter. In addition, he's a business and startup mentor, serial entrepreneur, and I guarantee he is a serial entrepreneur, and a strategic connector and technology expert. Please welcome Marlon De Cruz.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we
Yep.
can. Now,
Yeah,
Marlon, it's
go
fantastic
ahead.
to have you here with us today. We very much appreciate your time. We know that you're a very busy person, but we love having we love having you on our program today. So, I wanted to start off by asking you, what inspired you to build the ventures that you have?
Yes, I think thank you first of all for having me, both of you, and you guys are like, I've been super exciting, jumping up and down here, try to, anticipating this your live show. So yeah, thank you again, and yeah, so that's a very very good question. I was watching something the other day, and they were interviewing this. I think he was like one of the chief justices, I think, in the U.S. and on Bloomberg, and they were like asking a question about. Did you know you're going to be like the Supreme Court head of Supreme Court when you're going to law school and coming out? And his answer was, yeah, if it was that was correct, there's something seriously wrong, So the answer that I would give is that I didn't know that I'll be doing what I'm doing. If I thought when I was in school I would have been on a live show at 10 o'clock in the morning on 18th of February 2022, I would be kidding myself, because I had like fear of just even talking to people on stage and stuff like that. So yeah, I think for me it has been a journey of I don't know, serving and being there for people, and just the progression of that by really taking the time, energy, and I don't know, like spending a lot of I would say realization and of what I would like to do in my journey. So it was mainly I wanted to provide like service to organizations and people so that they can grow and they can be better at what they do. So that's how it all started. And when I was in Australia, I was working in computer retail industry, and did a few things in there, and then eventually met few people that I thought I really like, and I wanted to get some thing going. So so that's how the first company started. I always wanted to do some venture of mine so that I can actually apply. I would say, and I say mine, it's not obviously you can't build a business by yourself. It's a team of people and individuals, and that you connect and work together. But I learned the lessons or I saw lessons that I learned from people who treated, either customers badly or your team members badly and things like that. So I wanted to make sure that I, set up a ecosystem that, supports the individuals and the businesses, and really take them through this journey. And yeah, so it basically transforms by itself to where you want it to most probably go, by really supporting and servicing your people well. So that's how it all started, and then yeah, and obviously it's still going in different ways. So I love the human interaction, the connections, and the being there to elevate and support the people, because we all humans trying to, do things. Business is about a transaction between humans, or multiple humans, as we know.
So can I just ask you, just in your bio, you said you emigrated from Sri Lanka to Australia with $500.
Yeah.
What can you just quickly touch base on why did you come to Australia, and what was your first thing that you did when you actually arrived?
Absolutely. So yeah, I think Australia, so when I say $500, obviously, my family over in Sri Lanka has, my dad was working in British American Tobacco, Scotland Tobacco in Sri Lanka, that company, and but I wanted to do something by myself and see how far I can, push the envelope. So my sister got, she was getting married to my, brother-in-law now, Gerard, and they were moving to. He had already migrated to Australia, so they got married, and she was going to come over. So in Australia was, I guess, it's always a great place. It, amazing opportunity for us to, do whatever we feel like, that is, I guess the calling or we're good at, and then, take it to the next level. So I thought, okay, my family, because I had 2 more siblings, 4 siblings in total, and I thought maybe everyone will come over and we can have a, family over here. So I decided to come over here and I don't know, just cold turkey and try what I can do. So and within 3 days, I had a warehouse, picking and packing job. My first day was cutting cardboard boxes and put it in the recycling bin the whole day. It was like that for a couple of months, I guess, and helping out with the warehouse and stuff at computer retail. When I finished there, I was actually running the dealer support, and handling all the orders for entire Australia, building like hundreds of computers, and that's like 3-4 years into it, So yes, I think if we what I learned from there was that if you really put your heart and soul into something, and you have the tenacity to take it on, and support the people, the business owners, or whoever it is, then there's no limit, So that's how it started,
That's amazing, Marlon. Tony, have you got some questions?
I do. I noticed that you deal with culture within organisations. So perhaps just what was your first impression when you saw some of the Australian culture in organisations? What did you feel was not quite right or needed improvement?
So I think, Tony, what I'll do is I'll just really explain my observation or my, learning from that, right? So I think, especially I worked in Sri Lanka for a little bit of time, and I have like 2 places that I actually really witness amazing culture and amazing, I don't know how would you say it, like caretaking of, individuals and businesses and people, So this comes back to like my dad is working for, Ceylon Tobacco, and that company, the way that they, looked after their staff's families, and their whole ecosystem was like amazing, So that was my first experience of a company, and like we had Christmas parties with Santa coming in helicopters, and elephant back, and big boats and things like that. Like we had like sports carnivals in that company for like kiddos, and we had Christmas presents that they gave us and things like that. So I'm like, I witnessed this very I would say amazing, and maybe I could use the word lavish almost, but it's like you almost like we smother our kids with things like that, but a company doing that was like to witness that was so cool, right? And my good uncle George Ondachi, who's not living anymore, he started from ground up, and built multi-billion rupee businesses in Sri Lanka. I witnessed that growing up, and these 2 ingredients together, I realized that it was actually not like a special magic or anything. It's like hard work and really someone's sentiment that creates a culture that then you can use to do whatever your intention is. So if that's a really good positive intention of providing amazing quality service, or amazing product or manufacturing or whatever it is, it basically can be managed, replicated, and taken forward. Because what happens is when you have that vision and when you implement it or inculcate it, the word inculcate is, I guess, not a really a good word, because it's intending to, I would say, share something that will be replicated, but in a good way. If you do that, then basically the entire system, works in a way that it's positive, and it, I guess, provides massive value to everyone. So me, when I come over here, obviously every company, depending on their agenda and the way operating and how much, they're listening to people or hearing. So listening and hearing is two different things, I guess, So you got to hear what people are saying and really be attentive to that. As you know, Tony, we witness that in different ways. So I witnessed in various anomalies in that, and I could tell you some really funny and bad stories, but because we don't have much time, I realized that that's a thing that has a massive advantage if you actually do that really well. So when we started our organization, what we did was we sat down together with the business partners, and we wrote down a lot of things. And I've done this in even BizTech now, right? Is that we wrote down what not to do. So that means we didn't write what to do. We wrote a list of things what we shouldn't be doing. Yeah, and these are the lessons that we learned. Like, for example, hiring people without a proper vision or something, and then firing them. Treating your customers maybe not very well, and having bad sentiments with that. So these are so we call that our 10 commandments now, our golden rules. Wow. So we had those ones in the organization. I think that was one of the main key areas that we were very successful, because we looked at that every board meeting and things like that, and go, okay, have we broken any of the rules? And if we feel like it's broken, then go, why did that happen? You know what I mean? And if that intentionally obviously did it, then we will be very hard on ourselves. But if you accidentally, did something, then we gone there without. So I think culture is very important. There's different versions of understanding of it. My understanding is, if you actually treat people and have really a lot of love and care of how you go about it, then because culture, you cannot. It's something that's born. You know what I mean? You can create it, but it's a living thing. So you can't just go. I go to the shop and buy $10 worth of culture, because it doesn't come in bottles. So it's about it's about how we feel about others, and I think that becomes the culture eventually. So
no. Marlon, do you have any favorite mantras?
Yes, I think I've got 3 main mantras that I. So I had every day. Every day I have to learn for at least half an hour. These days I think you're learning a bit more than that, especially being at home and doing things. So I have to learn something every day. So if it's something with technology or a business strategy or someone else's business or the stock market or what's happening, whatever it is. So so that's number one. And number two is basically I would say reflecting at the end of the day. So actually that's number three. So now number two is basically also living every moment. Like, it could be like your last one. So if I meet you, Simon, or Tony, I need to finish our conversation in a pleasant note. It's something that I'm looking forward to doing next. Maybe say the next call we're doing on this one, or or Tony, the next meeting we have, or Simon, the next catch up we have. So I'm super excited about that. So that's number two. And number three is basically, and that one is not easy, because you have some some crap thing happen, and bad moment. You cannot allow that to take your space and your presence, because if that's your last moment, would you be happy being angry or upset? So I if I feel like that, I quickly get off it by definitely using that one. And number three is basically every day I have to put something into my continuous improvement process. So I call it my continuous improvement cycle, CIC. Basically, so I have to, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll reflect, and wind down for like 15, 20 minutes just to see how the day went and what things that I am not happy or congruent with in how I did things. And that's including my family relationships, kiddos, team, any customers, any friends, anything like that. So anything that was done, I don't journal as such, like in a book, like otherwise I'll be writing pages, I think. So I journal that in my mind, you know what I mean? I just go through that entire day, and so sometimes not as detailed as I should maybe, but so that's my 3 main mantras I try and live by,
Yeah, Marlon, I noticed that you're a very spiritual man. How do you reconcile spirituality and business together? So I know with other business owners, sometimes it conflicts. How does it work with you?
So I think it can conflict definitely, because I think when you come to certain decision making and stuff like that, you could maybe break some of your principles, but at the end of the day, I think for me, like spirituality means like being centered and being as much as in the moment and in the now, for me and the people around me. So for example, if I'm in this, and we have a few other emails or calls or whatever it is coming through, you obviously have to focus on doing, being really centered in that moment, right? So spirituality for me is being, I think, really the best version of me I can be, okay, and be as giving and loving as I can be to everyone around me. So I would, I don't know, you'll, as you go along, you most probably, if you get to know me a little bit more, people will get random messages from me. So one of the things I'll do is in the morning, I'll spend some time, like I said, 20 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes, sending thoughts and inspiration, or even some direction to people that they'll be like, wow, I just needed that message at that particular time. I don't know how you knew it, but so I get like some funny reactions like that. Sometimes they're a bit spooked. So there was like one day I have this friend who lives in Newcastle, and I sent a message to them. And I said, her name is AJ. I'm like, AJ, I don't know, what are you doing? I want you to slow down today. I think you're going a little bit too fast, whatever, just relax and enjoy, right? So she calls me this was at about, say, 9:30, 10. She calls me at about 2 o'clock going, Marlon, oh my God, I wish I listened to your message, because I don't know, it's so hilarious. And she's laughing. She's like, I got booked for speeding. I should have listened to your message at like 10 o'clock, and I most probably would have not sped, right? So I don't know, like, so sometimes we feel like things are, coincidence. Sometimes we feel like things happen for a reason. So I think when you're hearing your inner self and nature around you, it tells you a lot of things that more than what you know, or what you need to. So I use that a lot as in our business dealings, internal team practices, strategy and workshops and stuff. So it's like being kind and peaceful and good nature definitely has massive amount of benefits in any transaction. So business is a series of transactions. If you can apply that same theory to your life and business together, it's definitely not easy. Like I most probably explain it, like I guess it's like a easy thing, but I think Simon, you definitely have a lot of business customers and stuff like that, and when you simplify things and you do that really well, for them, the spirituality is like, it's because spirituality is not religion, right? So religion is different rituals we practice and things like that. Spirituality is being with your spirit, so basically you could read it in different ways. So yeah, so anyway, I most probably explained that too much. So for me, that's what it is, being really good human.
I just wanted to quickly touch on perhaps who do you draw inspiration from?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I think my inspiration comes from few people that I've. So I love reading, about the world, about inventors, leaders. I've got a Audible library that has about, I don't know, I think close to 300 books now, and I keep buying them. Like I've got a subscription. So I would say, the humanitarian leaders. In case I have different categories, So obviously. Spirituality wise, it's like Gautama Buddha, I would say Jesus and all the prophets, then yeah, people like Krishna and Babaji, and so I read all the different I would say spiritual leaders, and some people like Sadhguru and stuff even living now. Yeah. And I have then humanitarian leaders like Mahatma Gandhi. So we're about to do a project, Simon. Yeah, being the change.
Yes.
So that was what Mahatma Gandhi promoted, and told us that we need to be the change that we need to see in the world. So that's like a big concept and thing that I believe in every day. And Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, the three people that come to my in my picture. I have like little pictures in places, and then I think tech wise, it's like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, people like that who really had a dream, and they are changing the world for people could use in different ways, but I think it's for innovating it for our better living and better conditions, and hopefully saving the planet from our own little destruction by doing things well. So and so those are like inspirations that I have. And apart from that, obviously my family is to do every day what I'm doing, and the team. So I have this concept, and Simon knows that. I think I mentioned it to Tony too. So I every day I wake up in the morning, I believe that all the people around me, including you guys, so we have a beating heart. So every beating heart that's immediately connected to us have family, pets, immediate family, extended family, So let's say each one, like one of us have 20, yeah, a beating hearts connected for what we're doing and our well-being, and it impacts them. So let's say it's say each person has 20, right? So if we count 20, and I've got like, I don't know, at the moment in BizTech we have 125 staff members, team members, various customers, and projects, and all friends and family. So what I do, and my positivity, and my courage, and my love, is needed by, I've calculated about up to 10,000 people, hearts, right? So for me, that is inspiration that I cannot, even explain. So it makes me very, very, very happy to do what I'm doing, regardless of how bad the weather is outside, you know what I mean, or the environment is. So it's it's like a fusion generator, I call it. So a fusion generator is a generator will never run out of power, hopefully, because the fusion is creating it, unlimited and unconditionally. So if you can be a fusion generator and generate the energy and the courage and the inspiration yourself by so this is like a mechanism that I've most probably come up with myself, and it works, and it works all the time. Sometimes it's obviously a little bit too much for some people. They're like, why don't you just settle down and be peaceful? I'm peaceful, but I'm super excited. So it's like a little puppy, starting Simon. So this is my inspiration. I draw from things like that. So yeah, hope that it's not too much.
Well, Marlon, that's very insightful. I'm just looking at the clock now. We're getting close to our closing. So I'd like you to make one. If there was one message that you'd like to tell the audience, what would it be?
Yeah. So one message would be to just be yourself, and you have to, do what you love doing. Okay, and if you have not found it, and I think Steve Jobs said this, just keep looking and keep finding your space set, because when you find it, you'll know, and you'll settle, right? So if you're in a job that you're not, absolutely 100% happy, you need to figure out why that is. So, I think, so I would say, you need to be at peace with yourself and enjoy what you do. And that's when you can be at your best. So to do that, sometimes you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need a personal development person to help you, because we couldn't learn all these things where we learned if we went to school and didn't have any teachers, right? So it's absolutely important that you do absolutely what you feel that's great. When you're younger, it's a bit harder, but you will find it eventually. So yeah. So I love what I do, and I love, you guys all. So anytime reach out and connect, happy to have a chat.
Thank you. And Simon, what was your insights for today?
Well, firstly, thank you, Marlon, for sharing all that with us. It's you've got an amazing story to tell. But I was taking a few little notes during that, and probably one of them was that happy people in the right culture breeds success. Yes, so that's probably one of the ones that I picked up. And as a very young fellow myself in business, many years ago, I was always taught it's your heart or your head. I was always taught to look at the up here first, looking ahead. But Marlon's probably, since I've known Marlon, he's certainly helped me from a heart point of view too. So he's very inspirational, and I certainly love him. He's great. Thanks.
Thanks Simon. Very much, Simon.
and my insight is for you, Marlon, is your mindfulness and your perceptiveness. You're able to center yourself and think beyond the square, but it's also opening up your heart, and not only it's the words that I'm trying to find is you sense things through your heart.
Absolutely. The feeling,
The feeling's so important, but you sense things and you use your intuition. And that's a lot of your spirituality shines through, and that's you. That's your true self, your true spirit speaking, and that's how you communicate with others, and that's how you like to set up your company cultures and things like that. And I think that's something that all organizations should be striving for. So Marlon, I thank you very much for opening up the awareness of that, and I think that's going to be great. And we'd love to have you on again, Marlon, because I think you only
definitely
half of it. Maybe we should make it go for an hour next time, Simon.
Yeah. I reckon we should do our, and we should pick a subject that's maybe three of us are really, because I think it's so important, as you said, Tony, to right now in especially with this particular pandemic that's happening, there's so much of pain and sorrow because of the people not being aware of their own possibilities, right? So I would call it people are suffering their possibilities at the moment, and I picked that from the great Sadhguru, who's living yogi at the moment, right? He says that people are suffering in possibilities, and that's absolutely correct, because the possibilities are there to expand and go next. So we should maybe have a couple of topics and do a couple of more sessions. I'm happy to jump on anyway.
We could start a mini series here, Marlon.
Yes.
That's a big idea. Okay. Right, on that note, I think we need to close up. We ran a little bit over time, but it was well worth it. Thank you, Marlon, for coming on. And now we've got another show coming on for our next one, Simon. We've got my beautiful wife, Sharada.
And whoa!
We shouldn't miss that one, yeah.
And we invite everyone to come back and listen to Sharada's story, because it's going to be a magnificent one, and you'll see all the trials and tribulations that she's gone through to get where she was. Okay, then everybody, thank you for attending. Thank you, Marlon, for your words of wisdom. We love having you on. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
And thanks to our audience. Really appreciate our audience.
All right, bye-bye.
See you.